off and rolling. And the tip is controlled by the Razorbacks and Talia Jones. Arkansas had one exhibition game with Division II Arkansas Fort Smith, where they put up 100 points. Rodriguez going to work, leans in, and too strong off the window.
Yeah, Arkansas's got to utilize that. Rodriguez is a very good presence inside. She had 11 points coming off the UA Fort Smith game.
How about the Lady Texters getting a knockdown and a three right out of the gates from Gianna Morris, one of the many Arkansas connections to this game.
And she can do that consistently and not in and not out.
There's your starting five for the Razorbacks. You don't see Yvette Mayberry. She's not available tonight, maybe soon, and she would be integral to running this offense. So Arkansas a little bit shorthanded, so to speak.
They are, and they would definitely miss her. What a special player she would have been for Arkansas, and will be when she comes back off of her injury. I know she hates missing tonight. But here you see Louisiana Tech, they're just doing that dribble drive, moving it around.
It's Emily Robinson controlling, one of the players that came with Coach Music from ORU. There's Bonnie Dees, and she will miss the three. Rebound down to Aaron.
And so the Aaron really came on at the end of the season last year for them, and Coach Starr, she's looking for really a lot to come out of her. From shooting to rebounding, all of it.
Long on that three from Aaron. And there's Dees, known for her defense. She's going to push and had that ball poked away from behind by Paris Bradley. Bradley with the jump stop, but she'll bank one in.
And Coach talked about her, how she assesses everything. She's very calm. She gets into the flow of the game. And she is really expecting her to elevate her game this season, and she showed it right there.
You're talking about the CUSA's Freshman of the Year a season ago, the preseason Player of the Year this year.
She is, and she's assessing, she's looking, that little hesitation is all she needed to get that shot off.
8 20-point games a season ago. The first 5 tonight have gone to the Lady Texters. Nice spin, nice finish from Jordan Marshall, the Little Rock native.
And that's what she does. She can score it. She looks deceiving, but man, she can flat out score. When you know how to score, coming from the program she does, winning the state title, it's ingrained in her.
Boy, Dees grabbed the rebound off the miss, but tumbled out of bounds. She may have taken our cameraman with her.
Louisiana Tech needs to keep doing what they're doing. They're spreading Arkansas out, and Coach Music talked about that against UA Fort Smith. Their defensive rotation was good. They've got to get back to that.
She felt like maybe the turnovers were a little bit high. Arkansas forced 33. They had 21 steals. That generated quite a few points, but it's a much more disciplined, better team here with the Lady Texters.
And I understand why they're playing so close. There goes Bonnie Dees for doing that.
And
That's
then
what
she just
she's
takes it
known
away.
for. Yeah.
She says, here's a steal for you. Little spin. Did she use the elbow? I believe that's the call.
Yeah,
Coach Music not at all happy up out of her seat right out of the gates. It's just easy for those officials to see that elbow that creates a little separation.
And you're wide open, and they're going to see it. It's going to get caught almost every time. Every time. But they've got a lot of jitters going on. They've got to settle down defensively, understand their assignments. I know there's shooters on the weak side, but they have got to help on that dribble drive.
There's Marshall again. Shot clock a factor for one of the few times. On the drive is Weaver. She'll go glass, and the first 9 points belong to La Tech.
And Weaver, she brings that junior college experience to her, that calmness that Coach Stowe wants her to have, the energy, the experience. You cannot replace experience, and it showed right there. She's very calm with the shot clock going down, and she shot to score.
Maria Rodriguez got caught, shuffled the feet, and turned it over, and Arkansas has turned the ball over now 5 times, and I know, Blair, that's an issue because it just limits your opportunity to get shots. Arkansas has only taken 3.
And then that's one thing with Stephen F. Austin, you know, their staff, they really wanted to focus on turnover, getting more possessions, and they're really doing that.
Taken away by Robinson. Can defense lead to offense? And it does. The first Razorback points come from the ORU transfer.
And she doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion. She's that silent, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I'm going to guard a post. I'm going to guard a guard. I'm going to get a steal and do what the team needs. She's going to be instrumental in them because she understands the system and culture that was there at ORU and bringing it here.
She had 10 in that exhibition game against Arkansas Fort Smith.
She's a physical guard.
Paris Bradley will back up and rein in the three-pointer. She hit 47 of those a year ago at her freshman campaign.
Well, in the warm-ups, I saw her hit 6 in a row in that corner, so that's her spot tonight.
That's going to be an easy call, an offensive foul on Archer. Got up in the air with no place to go.
And that's one thing they worked on today, that defensive rotation, that post player coming over, they were preparing for Arkansas's downhill drive there, and she was set right there.
Jenna Lawrence in. That's 3 turnovers on Archer and a couple of fouls.
Yeah.
Harmony Ware also will check in for her first minutes. And everything going in the direction of La Tech out of the gates. Bradley on the drive. She gets the step, and Lawrence with the block, and Arkansas will take over.
It was huge. Jenna's got to step up for them, offensively and defensively for Arkansas.
Robinson, there's a little bit of that dribble drive, but she went too fast, lost it out of bounds. I think Arkansas lucky to get that one back.
They were very lucky. I mean, an area was right there. I mean, she played great defense, kept her hands up high. It was going to make her shoot over that. Louisiana Tech really prepared on that, defending the inbounds place. We'll see how they execute here.
There's Rodriguez, easy look, can't hit. Dees with the rebound, a spinning putback won't go, and the rebound cleared by Aaron, the 6'1 sophomore. Louisiana Tech, again, 18 wins a year ago. They averaged 66 points. You would think that freshman experience will really benefit these players coming back for this year.
You see it is, and they're getting deep in the shot clock. They're not panicking. You can tell they've all played together.
And Morris with another make, the Sherwood, Arkansas native with 5 quick points. And she had 8 a couple of years ago when they came here in a game against the Razorbacks.
She is solid, consistent from year in to year out, and you like to have that in a player, her size and her capability.
12-point lead for the La Techsters even before the first media break. Morris steps back. How about another one?
Yeah, I mean, that's what she does. That is her strength. I mean, she hit the most. She has taken the most threes last year on the team, and you can't lose her in transition. You have to find her.
What a start for La Tech as we step aside up by 15.
They're on a vengeance. They're on a mission, this team, to, you know, I know they're picked #1 in preseason, but as Avery Aaron called it, it's a lot of fluff because it's beginning. We haven't played anything. So I think they're not buying into the media report on how good they might be.
Joy Madison Key made a nice move to get down the lane, but she lost that ball off her knee. It was defended by Clarkson, the 6'3 junior, also seeing her first minutes. Harmony Ware, that's a physical drive, and another time tonight where our Razorbacks used that elbow and picked up the foul.
You know, this is where Talia has really got to step up. She's an upperclassman, so to speak, and she knows Coach Music's system. She's got to rally the troops and get them calmed down for everybody.
Yeah, you can't cut into a 15-point deficit immediately, but on the other end, you don't want to see these shots keep falling for the Techsters, and that's a rebound from Lawrence.
Yes. Yeah, and Jenna, she needs to step up here, too, for them. But a point of emphasis, Coach Stower was talking about the hand contact. You got to put it on and you got to remove it. And she said we're going to have to adjust with the officiating. Being the first game, they could call it tight or they could call it loose, but she really harped on her players about that today.
Harmony Ware go to the free throw line. You know, in that exhibition game that Arkansas had with Arkansas Fort Smith, Blair, there were 53 fouls in 40 minutes, which seems like a rather high number.
It does. I know they shot a lot of free throws, and Coach Music wants them to get to their free throw line, so it's a good start. They score with no points.
Lawrence got a hand on it, and I think it was touched by Thompson, so it's Razorback basketball.
That second effort, that's what's going to generate you some enthusiasm, some hope in this scoring deficit that they're in.
Arkansas with 2 points. It came on a run out after a turnover by Robinson. Now, Jenna Lawrence didn't play a lot of minutes the other day, 16, but she went for a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds. And Talia Jones trying to get downhill. And the putback won't go from Clarkson, but she will go to the line.
Clarkson, she's got to be a presence too. They need that big size with Jenna Lawrence and Clarkson in there. It's going to propose a matchup challenge for Louisiana Tech. They can't guard those two bigs with just Thompson in there.
Larson's from Pima, Arizona. She went to Eastern Arizona Community College in Thatcher, Arizona. They are the Monsters. And in 2 years, she averaged around 8.5 points a game. I love that nickname, and she makes one of two. You're not in the middle of nowhere in Thatcher, Arizona, but you're close.
You're close,
You're
I guess.
real close.
I've never been there, so I'll take your word on that.
I've been nearby. A lot of rocks, a lot of dirt.
She's got a tough matchup right here because Marshall can score. She's moved. She's not going to turn around and face up. She's going to make you move laterally.
They called a traveling violation before the foul?
They did.
So La Tech has maybe missed out on an opportunity to extend this lead. Arkansas trying to find some flow, some offense. Jones cut off. Corner three from Ware. That's her first college basket.
That's a good sign right there. It's got to bring her, she's a freshman. It's got to ease her nerves and hopefully settle down, and she can help generate some scoring.
Arkansas in this zone. Attacking is Weaver. La Tech has lost a few possessions lately. Bradley on the drive. Did she walk?
Yeah.
Yes, she did. Another turnover for La Tech. That's 6, and we have had a total of 13 in this first quarter.
Well, you see right here, Harmony going up and shooting very smooth, very collected. She had enough time, and you see Jones right there pointing to her like, good job, you took the lid off for us.
Young lady who was part of back-to-back 4A state titles in Tennessee and Cleveland for Bradley Central.
It is like, that's all you do over there is play basketball. A lot of basketball goes on in Cleveland, Tennessee.
She was fouled by Joy Madison Key, and she'll go right back to the free throw line.
Exactly what they want. They want it to be scoring with the clock stopped. And hopefully Ware can continue this momentum at the free throw line. I know it was an issue of at UA Fort Smith, but if she can knock down a couple, this helps tremendously.
Oh, she's going to spin that one in. When you miss your 2 free throws, you don't want to see that one spin out as well.
No, you don't. Not at all. After especially hitting that three-pointer, you're like, it seems to be going right now.
Couple of makes from Harmony Ware. She had 12 points and 3 rebounds in 21 minutes in the exhibition game here at Bud Walton.
And coming off the bench for her, that's got to really give her some confidence right there.
Well, Tech needs a possession where they handle the ball well without a fumble or a kick or a travel. They went to Bradley. She never was in danger of getting that shot over the rim or up off the window, but she draws the foul.
As we say, they bailed her out. She didn't have a shot. She was just hoping to create something, and Arkansas fouled her and bailed her out. But Arkansas is turning up their defense intensity and is really making them taking some challenge shots right here.
Paris Bradley with 5 points, trying to end this 6-0 run by Arkansas.
That's unusual for her to miss. She's a very high percentage free throw shooter, 81% coming into the season.
And she got to the line last year 150 times as a freshman.
As a freshman, she didn't have a shot. I guess she just put the ball down and went downhill.
You know, sometimes you don't feel like you get the benefit of the doubt oftentimes as a freshman. Dees with the drive again. She left it on the front of the tin, and it fell off. I think I've identified Dad. We weren't sure. There was a pained expression on the gentleman who I think it is behind me. That would indicate, yes, there's some familial grief. That was wide right by Morris. Tracked down by Bradley. Long rebound comes back to the Texters.
And one thing Arkansas is doing, they're keeping with their intensity. You know, Louisiana Tech was hitting everything, and now they're slowly getting them more contested shots. Being a little more physical when they cut the lane, bumping them when they don't have the ball. I think it's really impacting La Tech on their shots.
And one thing Kelsey Music, when she talks about her system, she says, we want to initiate how we play, not the other team. Have to be fearless. It needs to be a mentality. And sometimes, Blair, if those shots aren't falling, you need this scrappiness to kind of claw your way back in.
Absolutely, and the scrappiness right now is what they are relying on, and it needs translating from the defensive end to the offensive end. They're getting loose balls, they're bumping, they're hitting the cutter when they cut through. When you get hit on a consistent basis cutting through the paint, you feel it. You feel it. You're like, oh, I don't want to cut through there again, but they did.
Paris, a year ago as a freshman, Coach Storr felt like she kind of turned a corner in a game at Baylor, and she had 15 in that contest. And from that point forward, you know, she gained a lot of confidence and really had a special year.
She really did. I mean, for her to, she said she assesses everything. She's looking at it, and then she said she went downhill one time at Baylor, and like, yes, that's what we've been waiting on to happen. And the light turned on as a freshman, and then she proceeded to get forward.
I love what Coach said. She's an art major, so she feels like she's more creative. I think that's an interesting analogy. We've got a tie-up, and the arrow will be in favor of La Tech.
And she doesn't seem to be rattled at all. I mean, she's taking the hits, she's getting some shots. They're really focusing her. She's going to draw that attention night in and night out. And we talked to Coach about how is she going to handle it. She was very confident in her ability to handle the pressure from the opponents every game.
Isn't it amazing the growth between a freshman and a sophomore campaign on and off the court?
Yeah, it is night and day difference. And I know she felt like they were sophomores going into the conference tournament or halfway through the year, but that big year makes a whole difference. You know you're going to survive it.
Robinson with the lean throw. Wasn't pretty, but it banked in.
Yeah. She is just going to find a way to score. She is going to do, she's a utility player. And now she's having to guard one of their best players in Marshall.
Well, that was an open look at an air ball, and the rebound comes down in the hands of Marshall. She's double teamed, but somehow leans back and scores.
She uses her body well. She protects the ball with it. She knew how to get space between the opponents, and she lit it up.
Dees is open, drew some contact, no whistle. Bonnie's had a few looks, and their motor's going so fast, just hasn't been able to settle in or slow down.
Well, and she will. I mean, you see it in her. She is not let up on the defensive end. She has been intense from the horn to now, and so that's going to be advantageous for her.
That was a block by Clarkson. There was some inches given up right there as the 6'3" junior was able to swat that one away, or was that Rodriguez who got a hand on it?
I think it was Rodriguez,
it was?
maybe. Let's see.
It was?
Okay, there it was. Yeah, they need to feel that when they come in there, that knowing Rodriguez is going to protect the rim. When you have a good rim protector, it creates those guards to pressure just a little bit more.
6'1" sophomore from Barcelona will step out. 4.5 to go in the quarter. Quick entry pass, open look, and that will rattle, but it won't fall from Worm. And that will do it for a first quarter. Dominated by Tech, but Arkansas trying to climb their way back in. Up by 12 of the Lady Techsters after one stance at Bud Walton. And did.
And she hit the free throw. That was great.
There was some contact in the paint, and I thought we might get a whistle, and we did.
Yeah. And they were doing that there in the first quarter, kind of bumping them a little bit more, but Bates just got a little bit too physical there, and they caught her.
Weaver will inbound. Bates picked up the foul. There was some contact, no whistle, and Clarkson grabs the basketball.
Yeah, and Bradley's got to be ready for that because she is going to be the focus on scouting reports.
Robinson came to the jump stop and got the friendly roll.
Just a simple jump stop. She got in and was able to elevate. And you see the energy and the clapping that they're coming back.
At one point, this was 17-2.
It was. La Tech has gotten away from just moving the ball from one side to the other. Arkansas is really capitalizing. That defense is generating their offense right now.
Talia Jones with her first 2 points as a Razorback after averaging 18 a season ago at ORU. Nearly another takeaway.
I thought there was a whistle there for a second.
And there was. Turnovers have really been prevalent now for ORU, or for these Texters in the last couple of minutes. And it's the former ORU player Robinson who buries the three-pointer, and she's up to 9, and here come the Razorbacks.
And that's exactly what Coach Music wanted. She wanted that fearless. You play regardless of what the score is. You keep that same mentality, and everything that she's been teaching and coaching, you see it in the first quarter. It's gone from different ends, from not being able to do anything, but that block by Jada did it. And then it led Jones up for an easy layup. Those easy buckets are crucial.
You know, you think about this high-octane dribble drive offense, but for me, Blair, it's been the intensity on defense, kind of stepping into passing lanes, that's really taken La Tech out of their comfort zone.
It really has. When they jumped right there and double team, they were able to capitalize on that. And that's one thing that Coach Music talked about at UA Fort Smith, is they had 33 turnovers and converted to 36 points. And when you can convert off a turnover into easy points, whether it's an open three or a layup, it just does something for your mojo, for your team. It energizes, and you can see it, and it's contagious.
Well, you see the ball go through the net, and that never hurts either. We're going to step aside. Arkansas has cut this deficit to just one in just a bit and kind of initiate their offense after that timeout. They'll hoist a quick three, and Clarkson the rebound. And Blair, as we looked at those numbers, last year this Arkansas team, they shot 39%. That was 276th in the country as Jones goes to work. And if you can't put the ball in the basket, this is a tough game.
It is a very tough game. And here's Bradley. She's going. She's like, I got to take this team and put it on my back. And that's exactly what you want your leading scorer to do.
Provided the Lady Texters with an important basket. She also reaches double figures. Sanchez with the cut, kind of floated one up wildly, and the rebound down to Marshall.
Sanchez can get in the rim, but what she does on defense, she's so long.
Clarkson, the rebound. Her size is going to help out this Arkansas team.
Absolutely. They got to keep getting her in there and utilizing her, whether it's scoring or just protecting the rim. They've got two good rim protectors.
Bates on the drive, a little bit out of control, and a turnover.
And Louisiana Tech's giving Arkansas a little bit of their own medicine. They're being physical when they come in that paint right now.
Sanchez was able to keep that from going out of bounds, and then the ball was tipped away by Joy Madison Key.
You got to give them credit to Madison Key for hustling back.
It looked like a run out, but she got back to not only disrupt but get the takeaway, and that's got to be a foul on Robinson, and it is.
And you got to give Bradley credit for just keeping her composure right there, because that was a pretty physical. Emily is a great defensive player, physical player, and she held her composure.
Right here with the full bear hug will probably get you a foul.
Yeah, it will every time.
Whether it's a tight hug or a quick one, it'll be hard to miss. Madison Key, nifty move, but again, she can't finish. And the rebound was collected by Marshall. She averaged almost 9 of those a game a year ago, but she couldn't finish.
And she's got a quick bounce. So she got that ball, and she got up in the air in a split second.
And that one is going to be saved, and an easy basket and a lay-in for Jones.
And that is why you never save the ball underneath your opponent's basket, right there.
That was a gift. Arkansas will take it.
But Louisiana Tech, shockingly, seems a little rattled.
It's an open corner three and a miss from Weaver, the Louisville, Kentucky native. One thing you'll notice about this offense, Sanchez bringing the ball up gives me pause, but Coach Music will say if you're standing in a spot, you're doing it wrong. If you're not moving, there's an issue. There's no camping in the corner for the most part.
No, there's not. Everybody's moving. It seems like everybody but the bigs can bring the ball up the court, which I guess, you know, if you think about it, philosophy on defense, that you're not used to stopping the ball that far out in the court. So good for them to have the freedom to be able to do that.
All right, Blair, there's Clarkson with the lay-in. For the players that weren't in the system a year ago, how long does it take you to get comfortable cutting and moving and reading and reacting?
You know, I think a lot, it depends on their team chemistry, and they seem to have a good team chemistry. I give them 3 games, 5 games to be fully on the same page.
Nearly a 3 count, and finally Marshall, who was double teamed, got the whistle.
But there again, there was help defense right there. They're communicating on defense, knowing they have each other's back. And that is a lot. When you know you get beat, that's such a letdown, but knowing that your teammate's there to get the ball stopped, it's such an encouragement to know they have each other's back.
Jordan Marshall to the line for a pair. 3-time All-State performer at Little Rock Central. In fact, she was part of the 6A state championship team and the MVP in that game a couple of years ago.
I mean, she's a player. You see why. I mean, she's talented. She's athletic. She has a nose for the ball. She gets to it quickly. She can take the physical beating inside and still score. She's a great player.
Dees got caught with no place to go, and then that was just taken away by Marshall.
There she is. She's on the defensive end doing that.
You're going to lose the battle in toughness from someone from Little Rock.
Yeah, you're not.
Dees couldn't get it. Weaver will knock one down. She made her pay after the flyby, and that's a couple of hoops.
And that's what they need. They need an easy Arkansas overreach, and they exploited that. That's what they were doing at the beginning. They got away from it and got really antsy. Arkansas's physicality and length really bothered them.
Robinson got to the spot, rebounded Jones, and she was fouled by Weaver.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
She's
Jones
okay.
Talia Jones.
All right. But here she is. She's penetrating. Dees overreaches, and Weaver just pops up and hits that easy shot for her.
She had 53 threes a season ago at Three Rivers College, so she might be somebody that can provide some points for this La Tech team.
It's almost like she wants to talk and be a vocal leader, but she's not real sure because she's a newcomer / transfer. That's a perplexing situation to be in that first ball game.
I would imagine it takes a little while to settle in. That's one of two for Jones. And again, an outstanding free throw shooter from a season ago. This was 17-2 at one point in favor of La Tech. Arkansas in this second quarter has outscored their opposition 16-7, but that's a make from Bradley. And it feels like when La Tech's able to get her isolated, she's the one they want taking a lot of shots.
Absolutely. She's your best player on the team. She's a physical guard. She's got a great athletic body, and she's strong. And so she can exploit those guards that maybe as tall as her, but maybe doesn't have the physicality, and she can go up and power through the body and score.
How about rising and hitting was Gianna Moore. She's made 3 threes. She's in double figures in the game.
And that's what you were hoping, if you're Coach Stewart, we had a little crazy. It was tied, and here we are. We're settling down back into our rhythm offensively.
I like how you said that as a former head coach. We had a little crazy, and we came out the other side.
Yeah. That momentum runs. It happens. It's real.
It'll happen in November more often than not, too. Jenna Lawrence kind of backing her way in. That's a tough turnaround, but a nice shot from Jenna, and that's her first make of the campaign.
And you want her to build on that shot. She needs to come on and hit some big buckets for them because she is very versatile. She can shoot the three. She's a big guard forward. She can do a little bit of everything.
I had a big conversation with her about what it's like when you make that first shot versus miss that first jump shot. And she said last year, Blair, she lost confidence. And I said, hey, as a shooter, when you lose confidence, and she stopped me, she said, not good at all. And we both know what she means.
Yeah, we do know what she means, but hitting that first jumper, and it was a hard jumper. It was a turnaround on the baseline, one of the hardest shots in basketball.
That looked like an NBA move right there with that baseline fadeaway.
As a junior, you like to see those moves coming from her.
Morris, I thought she was going to rise and fire again. Bradley, the left-hander, goes to the right side, but uses the left hand, muscled it off the window too strong. And there's Key, open look. She'll knock it down again for the Grand Prairie, Texas native, a 2-lane transfer.
And that's what Coach Stower talked about. Bradley doesn't have to do it herself. She is surrounded by a lot of talented players, and you see that right there in Madison Key, who popped up and hit that big shot.
Not sure how that was in a travel. I guess the ball was loose, but it was knocked down by Rodriguez, her first Razorback basket.
She's got to come on. She had 11 in their last exhibition game. She's got to come on and hit some buckets for them.
There's some competition for a rebound. Did Rodriguez get ticketed? She did. She was using that arm bar to create some space. And she'll pick up the foul. 10 games at Oklahoma State a year ago before transferring to Arkansas.
But she was keeping her man from getting the ball, so she was working on that weak side. A little confusion on 2 times on their inbound play.
Jones with the takeaway. Another turnover for the Razorbacks and an easy 2 for Talea, who's up to 7 points in the game.
She's going to be a nice player for Arkansas. Continue to be a leader. She's got to step up and be more vocal, and I think she will as she gets more and more comfortable with her teammates.
Blair, does it feel like we've had 18 combined turnovers in this game?
It really does.
It feels like we've absorbed every single one of those from a flow standpoint.
I mean, Talea coming on and doing what she's going to do is going to keep doing what she's doing right here. She's going to keep creating havoc and getting steals on defense and getting easy buckets for them. But the turnovers on both teams, it's November, first game of the year.
But you understand teams are going to struggle at times to score if you're just missing shots or you're defended well. The last thing you want to do is give teams runouts and layups off your mistakes.
That's right. You want to minimize that, and even if they run it out, you still want to try to contest it in some way. You just can't make it easy for them, and both teams are capitalizing on it. La Tech shooting 42%, Arkansas at 40%. There's a make from Jones. So again, you see that ball go through the net, and all of a sudden you feel a little better with the shot. Yeah, you can tell rhythm. She's getting in her rhythm. She caught that and released it quick. She didn't think. She shot it immediately, and there she is on the weak side.
Who touched that one? It'll stay.
Yeah.
La Tech basketball.
But you can kind of see it with her coming. She's that flower that's blossoming. She's okay. I don't need 3 or 4 games. It's happening right now. So that's encouraging for her. She caught it and immediately went up and shot it. That's a tough shot. You got to give her credit.
She made 59 threes for ORU.
And it's translating. She's doing it now. She got to keep it.
Marshall on the handoff to Joy Madison Key. I thought she had the step.
She really did. She overpassed it. She probably wish she had it back.
She'll take that shot over Dees. Rebound to Marshall. She had another one briefly, and it's out of bounds. I think it'll be La Tech basketball with .9 to shoot.
Yeah, they got to see that. I'm not sure they do. Is anybody telling them? Yeah, they
Brooks pointing to the shot clock saying, look at the clock. I don't know what you have for a .9 in the women's game when you can't throw it up and hammer one down.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
Get it in the air.
Do the same thing. No. And that didn't work.
They had the right concept.
Got hands. Jordan Marshall had it deflect off her fingers, but she couldn't gather.
That's the 3rd time on their inbounds play that they have not all been on the same page. So it's very interesting.
Just players not understanding what's called?
I don't think they understand the assignment, yes. Maybe they haven't, they're confused on what's what now.
Dees, the Australian, goes behind the back, and she will score.
That's a nice play. Kept her head up, kept her dribble alive, and just scored it.
She's a fun kid. We'll talk more about her.
She is.
She was committed to the previous staff, stayed here with the Razorbacks. That's unusual a little bit.
It is.
Miss from Thompson. Another one of the Arkansas kids. Razorbacks have a chance to take a lead.
They do. And then you want it in her hands right there. The clock winding down.
Robinson had her path cut off. How about that? The Razorbacks have their first lead of the game.
Yeah, they got the rotation. Louisiana Tech did not rotate on that weak side, and she was wide open for the easy layup.
Thompson wide left. Jones drew the contact and couldn't spin it up off the 10 and off the window.
She's really taken control of these last 3 or 4 minutes. You're looking in the huddle there, she's talking, she's getting everybody on the same page. That's what you have to have. You have to.
7-0 run by the Razorbacks, trying to finish off this first half on a positive note after the game began. Extremely positive for the visitors from Ruston. Jones in that exhibition game against Fort Smith was 10 of 11 from the line, so she got there plenty, and we've seen that carry over to tonight as well. She's been there. This will be her 4th free throw attempt.
There you go. Yeah, she was funny because she was talking about getting to the free throw line, and Bonnie's Dees was like, yeah, I didn't make mine, but she did. It was funny in the post-game interview. Yeah,
Arkansas shot just 64% from the line in 42 attempts, but They're up by 3 as La Tech will hold for a final look here in the first half.
Arkansas just has to stay in front of the ball.
There was some contact and a chance for a three-point play. Joy Madison Key will bank it in and have a chance to even up this first half with a free throw.
I mean, Emily Robinson, she got even. Her head got even with the offensive player. Anytime the defensive player is even with the offense has the advantage. And Madison Key just went up and scored it. She knew it. She saw it right there. She had the advantage.
Boy, a good scorer knows you're going to the line at worst right there. Can't tie up the game. Arkansas will have a few seconds to go.
Did you see the clock? Yeah.
Dee's on the push. She'll let one go from three-point land. No good, and it brings us to the end, Blair, of what was an entertaining first half.
It was. At first, we were like, oh, no, this might be a long night. But Arkansas, you got to give them credit for rallying back on defense and generating their offense through their defensive end. They did a good job.
A 31-point second quarter for the Razorbacks. Will step aside an opening night from Bud Walton. The Hogs lead the Lady Texters. We'll tell you more about that later on as La Tech begins with the basketball, but that didn't take long, Blair, before we had the first turnover.
No, it's not how La Tech wanted to start the game, but here Arkansas has got to capitalize on that turnover.
Robinson really got the offense going to begin, and then there's a knockdown from Archer. She made 1 3 a year ago, but buries the three-pointer.
She really needed that to get her going and on the offensive end to settle her down, so that was a big bucket for her.
And there's a make on the other end from Morris. 13 for Morris.
Yeah, she hasn't let up from last year. She is scoring. She's looking to score. When her team needs it, she goes through it.
There's that dribble drive, no finish. Clarkson got the rebound, flat-footed, put it back up. She'll do it again. And the third time will not be a charm. It was finally cleared by the Texters and Aaron.
This is going to be an interesting matchup between Robinson and Marshall. See who's going to win that challenge.
I don't think you want to leave her open.
No.
That's 4 threes for Morris, the Sherwood, Arkansas native.
And that's going to be bringing her some ease too. You know, she's still hitting. She's bringing that consistency to the team.
Talia Jones got the step, passes into the corner. There's Dees, open look. That looked true out of her hands, and that's the first triple for Bonnie Dees from Melbourne, Australia.
Both teams are hitting their shots, and now it's going to come back. Who's going to get that defensive stop? Conditioning will come into play in this game.
I think you're right. Bradley defended by Jones, just lost the basketball. Taken away by Robinson. Arkansas doesn't have numbers.
Might have been a walk there.
We've had a couple of times where a walk hasn't been called because the player's been so out of control.
Maybe.
Tipping the ball to themselves, and there's a whistle, but I think this is going against
I think it's going
La
against
Tech and Morris.
It's going against Morris, yeah. Morris was just easily set up right there. She hit down the easy bucket. That is like a layup for her.
4 for 6 on threes. And Dees, this one felt good. You know, when you get those feet squared up, Blair, and you're in rhythm, it makes such a difference.
And she has a pretty shot out there. She gets set, she is going.
Talk a lot about Bonnie. She's one of several players from Melbourne, and we'll explain later on. Not all Australia. Dad's here. Dad's riding the roller coaster. I talked to him at half.
It's a long trip, I bet, but yeah.
Here for a few games, 4, I think.
Yeah.
And Bonnie on the drive, high scoop. No make, but free throws coming.
She's going to be a very good player for them because she can shoot the three, and when you come out and you close out tight on her, she's going to go to the basket. She's going to make you pay for kind of closing out too tight on her, and she's doing that here. And not only, she has ability, she shoots to score. I cannot emphasize that enough. Some people just throw it up and hope it goes in. They are shooting to score.
She was part of a silver medal team in the World Cup representing Australia. They lost the gold medal game to the U.S. 88-76. She had 13 points. Now she is a menace defensively.
Yes.
But Blair, there's skills on both sides, obviously offensively too.
It is, and she's just, you know, she's a freshman. She's an international player. She's doing it. There's a lot of adjustment going on in her world right now, and she's doing a phenomenal job of processing and handling it all.
Nice drive by Aaron and the Lady Texters. Again, you talk about getting to the rim. Robinson has been in the system for a few years. So has Jones. There's a miss. Can she get to the rebound? How about that? Somehow she got that ball back. Feeds Dees. Layup missed. And the possession stays in Arkansas's favor. Can Robinson end it? Goodness.
And that's what Coach Music's talking about. You got to keep up the hustle. And there they get an easy bucket.
And Dees in double figures with the 11 points in her collegiate debut. That was a possession that had to drive Louisiana Tech crazy.
Oh, yeah, that'll be something they watch in the film room over and over and over, not boxing out, not moving their feet. But now they've got to settle. That's how the game is. It's made of runs. It's made of momentum. They have the ability to score. That's probably not what Coach Stower wanted on that possession.
Rare miss from Morris. Dees again, good body control, but she's missed a few. Dees has taken 14 shots tonight.
I mean, she's feeling it, and most of them have been very good shots. She has the ability to score. She can score, so why not? I think Coach gives them a green light.
Joy Madison Key with the basket and one.
And that was a great basket, not because it went in, but because they have been struggling, and she took it to the rim and got a score. She is going, she has a mismatch on the sides there, and she goes up and scores. Smart player there.
Third
Smart
foul
play.
on Archer. She had two right out of the gates and picks up her third.
And Archer can match Madison Key strength for strength, but Madison had just a little bit of an edge right there, and Archer paid the price and fouled. But now they're getting a little rest. You see La Tech's a little winded. They're getting a little rest right here at this free throw, so they've got to capitalize on these moments right here.
Coach Storr said her name matches her personality, Joy, and
Yes.
she appreciates that three-point play.
Yes, and she is a joy. She is Chatty Cathy in warm-ups.
Harmony Ware back in the game. Jenna Lawrence spots up. Hard three off the back iron, and the rebound collected by Mackenzie Worm. Just holding on to the basketball has been such an effort.
It is. They're expecting big things from Worm to come back, and she's giving them some good minutes here. She's long and lengthy. She's got to find her rhythm. You can tell she's still hadn't found her rhythm yet right here.
And she's got the brace on the left leg, missed all of last year, and obviously her size will really help maybe the presence on the glass for this La Tech team. Morris defended by Dees. That was short by Key. Rebound to Lawrence.
But they're keeping it on one side. At the beginning of the game, they got left side, right side, left. But they're keeping it on one side of the floor. La Tech's got to get back going side to side on offense.
Numbers are there. Thompson with an open look. Bradley was fighting for the rebound, but she was last to touch.
I mean, Thompson was wide open, and she has the ability. She can score, but she's got that long length. She needs to go to that basket right there and get an easy bucket for him because, you know, 50-51, every possession is going to count right here. It's a very crucial possession.
Yeah, we're starting to settle in after a wild first half. First quarter dominated by La Tech. Second quarter, Arkansas put up 31 points. Jones, tough shot. Boy, the rebounds are just deflecting off fingers and kicking away, and Arkansas getting multiple opportunities. Lawrence will not coax it in.
Well, La Tech right there, they turned and watched. Nobody put a body on their defender, on their person. They did not. So they've got to get back to putting a body on who they're guarding and box out to secure that rebound. They can't get away from those little things.
They called this an offensive foul.
Oh, they sure did, didn't they?
I was watching Kelsey, and she was jumping up and down. It was because of the foul call, not the missed shot.
Yep.
Bradley's been a little bit quiet. She's not scored in this second half after 12 first half points.
Well, to me, I mean, she's left-handed. She needs to be on the right side of the court, coming to her left. She's on the opposite side doing that, so maybe she's out of rhythm. They are all talented and they can score, but they've got to get her involved in the offense.
No doubt.
They have to.
Tied 10 apiece here in this third quarter. Dees had position, fouled by Kaylee Thompson, the Lonoke, Arkansas native.
And Thompson, she's played a lot. She knows, I mean, she got caught on the weak side watching the ball, and Dees, man, she saw when that head turned, she crossed her face and made her pay the price.
Timeouts here at Bud Walton. We'll step you. Jenna Lawrence with a nice drive and a basket.
Coach Music talked today about how Jenna's got to get confident and believe in herself and be that same player she was when they were at Farmington when they won all those state championships. So you see that right there with that bucket.
It's a nifty drive by Joy Madison Key. All of a sudden, she's picked up some of the slack offensively for the Lady Texters.
She really has, and that's got to be an encouragement for the team, but they can't sit back and watch her. They all got to participate. I would like to see Bradley get more involved and Marshall. She's got a mismatch half the time right now. Robinson's guarding her.
Harmony Ware didn't have the clean catch. Sometimes that throws you out of your rhythm.
Yeah.
Dees got up in the air with no place to go. That's a tie-up. Arrow will stay in Arkansas's favor.
Now, then there's a little bit of miscommunication on defense right there. So they were cleaning it up at a dead ball situation, and you've got to want that.
Just what you would expect. A huge first quarter for Lady Texters, huge second for the Razorbacks, and we are tight and tied here in the third as they kind of throw some punches back and forth.
It did. Marshall did a good job boxing out on that weak side and went up with strength and went and got that ball. Now she's got to do the same thing. She's got to go.
Marshall got Lawrence up in the air. No whistle. No whistle the second time either, or the third. The fourth time is a charm for Kaylee Thompson.
You got to give them that. I mean, they stayed with it. They kept going up. They used the ball fake. Arkansas was right there, but they just finished it.
Felt like a possession Arkansas had about 5 minutes ago. Lawrence on the drive. Jenna can't finish. Rebound to Madison Key.
And Marshall's being smart there, staying in front of Lawrence.
Well, she navigated down the lane, didn't finish, and Lawrence grabs the rebound.
Yeah.
Tough pass, Harmony Ware, the catch, the spin, and the basket.
What a great catch that was in traffic. I mean, very poised, and went up and scored. Again, I'm going to harp on this. They have got to turn the ball from side to side, Louisiana Tech. They cannot 1, 2, 3 pass and score.
Just get a little flow?
They have to. They got to go elbow to elbow. They're stagnant, they're standing, and it's causing them.
Emily Robinson with an easy run out and basket. That's her first 2 in the second half, and she also reaches double figures.
She never looks like she gets tired. I wonder why she is. She doesn't look winded at all. And here we are in the third quarter.
3 Razorbacks in double figures. That 6 a.m. running this year, being on the court at 5:45, might pay some dividends when it comes to being in shape.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jones kept that pivot foot down just enough. Ware just hit a 3, can't hit that one. Rebound run down by Madison Key. These teams could use a break at some point, but they're not getting one.
They're not, and they both like to play that high pace. But I really think it's hurting both of them right now. They be patient.
A little sloppy?
Yep.
And yet there's a make from Marshall.
She's got to get more involved. She is the key to this success of this team. I know Bradley is her lead scorer, but she was right behind her.
How about Harmony Ware? She's starting to have an impressive first game as a collegiate.
And showing a lot of poise, and strength going to that basket. Like she's a veteran.
Every time you go see a team practice, maybe for the first time, there's always a player that kind of steps out. For me, the first time I saw Arkansas practice, I'm like, who's Harmony Ware? Because, she just does a little bit of everything.
But if you know that area of Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee, it is a basketball world. It is basketball all the time. So I'm not surprised as the game has gone that she's gotten more and more comfortable with it.
As we watched La Tech shoot around today, they had a unique situation. They had pictures on the front of their practice player's jersey. One was a car, and that means she's a driver. And one had a Swiss Army knife. And I'm not sure if that was for Harmony Ware, but that would describe her because she does a little bit of everything.
She does. She is getting to the basket. She's scoring, shooting the 3. I mean, she's having a remarkable game.
I did like the emojis, though, and the visual learning in practice for La Tech.
Yeah, it was very creative.
Double to makes from Thompson. Back to a 1-point game again as we near the end of our third quarter. Dees will exit, Robinson back in.
And Aaron's been a little bit quiet. Avery Aaron, you know, she really was hot at the end of the season last year. She's got to get back in her groove.
Dees will rein in the three-pointer. You know, when Arkansas beat La Tech a couple of years ago and they scored 100 points, in that game they had 14 threes. All of a sudden, Blair, Arkansas hit 7 in this one. That helps.
Oh,
trying to get some separation.
I mean, she just elevated. She got that ball and she elevated and she went up and shot with a purpose. She knew what she was going to do. She didn't hesitate and it went in. You can see that translating on the rotation of the ball and everything.
For someone from down under, she threw that in the air a mile. That brought some rain.
She's not playing like a freshman. She really is not.
Yeah, so much international experience, and I think that's why it's important to have her on this team and in this game as Weaver makes a free throw.
And she loves defense, and that's contagious.
She loves defense.
It's contagious on the defensive end. It really is.
Minute to go here in this third quarter. Robinson has Weaver on her hip. I thought she might just take it the entire way.
It looked like it.
Dee's going to work. Somehow splits the double team and just about dropped that one in.
Arkansas is doing to Louisiana Tech what Louisiana Tech started out. They're putting the ball on the ground. They're reaching, and they are splitting the defender right there. Help was there, but they were at the incorrect angle, and Dees was able to split and get the shot off and get a foul.
A couple of years ago, Blair, she was part of Basketball Without Borders in Arizona. It was the top 40 girls in the world. Hassan, who's on this team and injured for Arkansas, was also there. She was part of the NBA Global Academy. It really allowed her to know that her game could translate and she could come here and have success.
And that's what it is about. Can I come and play? Will it translate? Because you want to go somewhere where you're going to be successful, and it truly has. I mean, her future of her is very bright.
She grabs the loose ball. On the push, she got rolled up on pretty good by Bradley.
She doesn't seem to get rattled. Like, she took a major hit right there, and she's popping right back up. And, you know, she's not rubbing anything. She's not looking around for somebody to, you know, pat her back. She's a hardcore player.
She had to move away from home to go to the center of excellence and maybe similar to an IMG academy.
It is.
And, you know, her basketball experience, Blair, I think, belies her young age.
It is. It really does. And when you move away and you play a sport and that's what you do 99% of the time, it does translate. And I know she's homesick, but man.
Hey, that's Dad, by the way, so maybe not so homesick. That's Scott. You know, I have very few talents in life, and our producer, Caden, is nodding yes and no. I could type 90 words a minute, and I can identify a parent from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was watching earlier, and he was riding the roller coaster. Bonnie had some misses, and he's got the grimace, and he's got the reactions. But he's here for 4 games, and Mom, Dad, and brother were able to be here for her visit. But Dad's coming back for about, I think, again, 4 games. Mom's coming a little bit later on. And we got so many people from Melbourne here, we can't even keep track. But I know Dad's enjoying seeing his daughter's first true college game.
Yeah, and anytime you can look in the stands and you see a family member, it brings a sense of ease. And especially, I'm sure it does being an international player, can imagine the sense that it brings. And you can see she's playing with a lot of confidence right now. That bodes well for Arkansas.
17 for Dees. Couple of makes from Jones. She's up to 14. And Arkansas getting the first separation they've had at any point in this contest. Remember, at one point, they trailed by 15.
They did. And Arkansas has done a good job of taking Bradley out of it. Whether if they're switching defenders on her, they've really gotten her frustrated.
She has not scored in this second half. Dees with a knockaway. Shot clock shut off. Wild drive from Morris. Will that count? And a miss from Madison Key. But Blair, that was quite a third quarter by the Razorbacks.
It really is, and they're hedging on that on-the-ball screen has made a big difference on Weaver. She can't.
Spoke to Kelsey and said, I loved her because I wanted to play fast. She does everything fast. So
everything fast. Everything. You like that energy. And not only is it fast, it's fast and efficient. You like that. You got to like that.
One speed, to say the least. She was giving up some size there, and they got the ball to Marshall, and she reaches double figures with the make.
Yeah, she's got to get the ball in her hands a little bit more. She's got to become more assertive and ask for it.
Sanchez lost the ball on the floor. Back in the hands of Dees. Hard entry pass to Rodriguez. Nice move from the Spaniard.
That's a nice move by Rodriguez. She read that defense, she felt the defense, and she turned to the other side. It was a great read.
Passing up the shorter jumper for a corner three, and a make from Morris, and she has reined in 5 triples in the game.
She has not slowed down at all, even though some of her teammates might not be with her. She has been consistent with them, and she's a junior. Makes a big difference.
Nice knock away from Weaver. La Tech will try and push.
Oh.
And out of bounds was Marshall.
And that's exactly what you don't want. You wanted them to capitalize. It's like cause a turnover, then you don't execute on the other end, which is such a momentum breaker right there. But
see Mariah Anais Rodriguez just get position to make that
count. Yeah, she uses her body well. It's encouraging to see. You got a big man inside, a big person just asking for the ball and posting up, and they gave it to her.
Quick whistle. Going against La Tech. Foul on Morris, and that is her 3rd.
And the thing that when Arkansas huddles, you see them talking. They're not just looking at each other like, what are we doing? They're all communicating, talking like, where are we going? Who's guarding what? What's next? Jones has really been instrumental in the communication, and now you see Dees pick up on it. So that's a great sign.
And again, Jones' scoring ability is one thing, but her experience in this system is entirely another, helping out the players that are still kind of getting used to this.
Yes, and she knows exactly what music needs, and that's what Marshall's got to do. She has got to get on fire for this team and score like she can. She's a great scorer.
3 starting to fall now for La Tech. And the visitors not going away as Arkansas had a little bit of separation, but I feel like we might go back and forth all the way down the stretch.
I think you're right on that, Brett. It's just a one-possession game, and we'll go down to the wire. And these coaches, it's what you want this time of year, to put your team through that kind of situation. But so both teams will grow tremendously after this game.
Marshall with the catch, up over D. She bothered it, disrupted just enough. And again, we'll talk a lot about read and react and cut and move, but it leads to an open look for Dees. Can't hit that 3. Bates up high. Not sure how that's not a trap, but
yeah, they didn't call it, so keep on playing. And then she's gonna get the shot.
Shot clock's in single digits. Kelsey said we should never have a shot clock violation, and Dees will miss. Landed hard. She shot the ball 17 times tonight.
Yeah, they have, but they had a mismatch inside, and they did not see it. They've got to capitalize on that. She was pinned well. Clarkson had her.
Aaron goes with the left hand, and she was stuffed by Clarkson. She'll try again, this time with the right hand and a whistle.
You got to give her the tenacity. She wasn't afraid. She got her first shot blocked. She got it, recovered it, and went right back into her chest to try to score.
She was going to navigate most of this paint from one end to the other and then back again.
She sure did. She's like, okay, not on this side. Let me go to the other side.
Had you been blocked with both your left and right hand in a sequence, that probably would not have been much fun.
Probably not. No, it was not. The free throws. You got to capitalize on those.
Aaron from Bernie, Texas, missed the first 6 games a year ago. She'll get 1 of 2. And we've lived in this 1 to 4 point range most of this second half.
And whether she scores or not, she's becoming a big presence inside, which is going to draw the defender, and the help's going to have a very difficult choice on what to do.
Spinning shot is missed. Weaver the pull. Hey, La Tech can take a lead with a 3. They've reined in 6 of those in the game. Marshall would just turn and shoot, and my goodness.
And there, Marshall, she did, you see her says, do I drive it, do I take it, do I shoot it? She shot off 1 foot, but she's got to go to the basket. When Robertson is guarding her, she's got to take her to the basket. 2 physical players, but Marshall's ability to jump and explode off the ground is tremendous. She has the advantage there.
Robinson down the lane, and she just got stuffed. Blocked by the 5'8" Joy Madison Key.
She did. She elevated. That was a great defense. She stayed in between her and the basket, even with staying in front of the ball. It was good defense by Madison Key.
Harmony Ware, that's about the 4th time tonight, Blair, a Razorback has used that elbow,
Yeah.
and they've been ticketed every single time.
She's done it twice, and that, you know.
It wasn't much, but it doesn't take much when you see it.
It doesn't, and she was in the wide open, and they're going to call that every single time. Distinction of that arm gets them.
30 combined turnovers.
And I know that's one thing that La Tech was talking about, taking care of the ball, possession it, coveting it, take care of it. She's got to go. She's got to go score.
Marshall, tie game, even at 70.
She can do that. She's got the advantage on that mismatch.
It almost feels like as much as these teams want to go, Blair, it's the set, getting the ball in the right player's hands that might make a difference.
Absolutely. La Tech, they do play a fast pace, but they have the ability to run and execute sets very efficiently.
Bates was off balance, but she banked it in.
That's when you know it's going well. She did a great job. Give her credit. She stayed with that shot. Oh.
Boy, Bates knocked it away when it looked like Madison Key had a layup and a missed 3 from Morris.
Again, that length hurt La Tech right there. Bates did a good job.
Nice knock away from Aaron, but it's out of bounds. Arkansas ball 22 to shoot.
And here she goes. She gets bumped, she shoots the score, and she got the row. And she got the player's row. You got to love it. She did a good job.
You know, Kelsey talks about she wants this team to average 80-plus points a game. Each of the last 2 years, they've done that at ORU. It might be a tough task, but Blair, they're trending to 80-plus points tonight, and that will help from NEC Lyon.
They sure are, and I think that's what she calls it, that high-octane offense. And at the same time, what's beautiful is they play hard defense, too. It's just not on one end of the floor they play. They play on both ends.
Clarkson with 9 after the make, and that was an open look, and they just forgot about Marshall.
Yeah, she can't leave her. She can score, and she is doing a good job at stepping up right now.
She had 11 double-doubles a year ago, doesn't quite have the rebounds yet. That was a drive from Rodriguez and a miss, gets her on rebound back.
But she helped. Marshall helped, but nobody helped Marshall on the other weak side. They didn't rotate right.
Harmony Ware with the scoop. And now La Tech numbers aren't there, but they might push. A kick into the corner, a chance to tie with a 2, and another turnover. That was a handoff.
Yeah, she should have shot that 3.
And yet it was returned briefly, and then Madison Key could not save. And everybody neades a timeout. Slow down,
they do.
Settle down.
They're just
We've
trading.
got 4:33 to go. Arkansas up 2 after this much needed.
Aaron would say.
All right, twice Arkansas has jumped off the wrong foot and made a basket here in the fourth quarter.
I know.
That's the difference in the game.
It has been.
Knocked away. Whose ball? It'll stay La Tech basketball.
And the Weavers got to recognize that when she comes off the screen, they are doing a tremendous job of hedging, trapping, whatever the terminology you want to call right now.
Are they giving different looks too?
They are. They're trapping her every time she comes off that, and it is doing a good job. Rodriguez is doing a great job right there.
Blair Bradley has not scored in this second half. That was a wild throw to the rim. You're talking about a 14.5-point a game score. She's not scored in the second. And Jones on the drive, got the block, and she'll head to the line for a pick.
She is, and she's reverting back a little bit to being frustrated as a freshman. I'm getting hit, I'm getting hammered, and I'm not scoring. You got to make the easy play, get a steal and get a bucket. Like Jones going right there. She just elevated and scored.
Again, she went to the line 129 times a year ago and shot 83%. Those veterans understand, though, sometimes you absorb the contact, then you shoot. You don't shoot and get the contact.
Yes, exactly. And it makes a big difference when you've seen it year in and year out. You're like, okay, not that you're bracing for, but you know it's coming.
Double to make from Talia Jones. Kelsey Music knew this was going to be a test. La Tech preseason Conference USA. I think she might have, in an ideal world, faced them in games 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But she knew it was going to be a test. And, hey, La Tech is on the quarter system, so they're facing their final soon, but they're facing another test tonight.
They are, and that's a great one right there. Great screen there. Madison Key went and got an easy bucket. That's what they've got to do, score easy buckets quick.
Another one knocked out of bounds, Arkansas ball. Blair, what's this going to come down to in the remaining 3 minutes and change?
I think it's going to come down to execution on the small plays, but it really is going to come down to defensive intensity and who's in shape. Like, who can get it out for the next 340 and when they're tired, and when can they execute?
You know, there's physical exhaustion, and just having fans here in game 1, there's a little bit of mental drain too when you're this deep into a game.
There is, and this is what you prepared for in the summer, in the fall. This is what it all comes down to, and you'll see them start to separate the last 2 minutes of the game.
Timeout with 3:27 to play. Don't go anywhere. Arkansas up by 4, trying to finish off a win. A drive, and that shot, I think, was partially deflected. That would have been huge.
That's another miss in the paint that we're talking about. She has got to go strong there. It's end of the game. You got to go strong, just like that.
And Harmony Ware in double figures in her collegiate debut. She's the 4th Razorback to do so.
And that's what you have to have. You have to have multiple players scoring double digits. And that's key for your success.
And that's the 80-point number that I think Kelsey Music shoots for. Morris, who's made 5 threes, missed the corner triple.
And Moore shot it, and everybody was just standing. And that's fatigue. That's being mentally tired. You can't do that.
Jones with a chance for a 3-point play. The hoop, the harm, and she has a chance to give Arkansas more separation.
And it's coming down to the last 2 minutes. That last possession when Moore shot it, literally everybody was walking back, and Jones hurt him on the other end. And she is a talented player. She mimics Coach Music. You know, you heard her talking earlier, you know, they were so excited for Coach Music to go and come to the University of Arkansas, and that says a lot about her as a person and a human being. And so she's really rippled in that energy from Coach Music to the team.
I'm a believer score is score. Last year, 18 points a game, 20 tonight. Arkansas needed just about every one of those.
And you can't, I mean, it was on one side of the court. I know they need to score quick, but there is plenty of time to cut in this lead.
Does this team know how to milk 25 seconds from the clock without going fast?
I don't know.
We're going to find out, because they have their largest lead of the game.
They do, and they're enjoying it. You can tell they're cutting, they're moving. Jones is instrumental with the ball in her hands, as well as Ware is. Oh, she almost got a third one there doing that.
She did. Dees will hoist the 3 and hit. That's a 20-point game for Bonnie Dees to go along with the 20-point game from Jones. If you would have told me after 1 quarter she was going to have 20, Blair, I might have thought that wasn't going to be the case tonight.
But, man, you can tell. I mean, I really think Arkansas is separating themselves because they're in really good shape. They have energy. They have lift on their shot. They're rotating.
It's almost like they're playing 5-on-4 or 6-on-5 right now.
They are. Look at her. She just steps up and scores. She's got a lot of energy left in those legs, a lot of strength there. And La Tech, you know, this is the first game. They've got a lot of kinks to work out. There's time. That's what Bradley's got to keep doing.
Paris Bradley's going to have some big-time games. The second half was not one of those. That was her first hoop.
She kept the ball high there. She didn't have it down low, which I think got her shot off quicker.
That's a freshman mistake right there. I'm not sure where she was going with 25 to shoot.
I don't think she did either.
That might have been the problem.
That's right.
Yes. Dees with the spin. Dees with the scoop. Dees with the over-the-shoulder basket.
The wherewithal and knowledge of knowing where she is with the ball in her hand around the hoop, You can't teach that. She just has it.
Dad's doing a lot better than he was in the
Yes.
first half. When she was with the Sydney Flames, by the way, the pro team in Sydney, she was teammates with 34 and 35-year-olds. She said she had a grandma, she had an aunt, she had a big sister, and they looked after her. But I think that prepared her so well.
It did, and she learned a lot from them on and off the court, but they definitely prepared her for on the court and the physical play and the maturity, because you can see it in her. She's more mature than a freshman on the first game.
Saw Dad again. I asked him if he was Bonnie's father. He'd only had to open his mouth for a split second before I heard that accent, and I said yes.
Yes, the Melbourne, Australian accent.
Bonnie says when she goes home, they feel like she's lost her accent.
Oh.
Then she comes here, and everybody, the first thing they ask her, oh, where are you from?
Yeah.
England, Australia?
Yeah.
Another basket for Paris. Bradley, timeout for La Tech with 54.8 to go. And I know earlier today, Kelsey's parents, Pam and Steve Bond, were here.
Yeah.
Not sure about her sister, Kenzie. Now, Kenzie played 1 year at La Tech. She was a freshman when Brooke Storr was a senior. So all kinds of basketball connections. I know Mom and Dad, though, really proud of their daughter and wanted to be here today to share it with her and maybe get that first Power 4 win, even though she won a game on this floor a year ago.
That's right. It's different sides of the court, different colors she's wearing tonight. And so, yeah, it's nice to meet them today at shoot around, and they had to be very proud of her and what she's doing, and just the energy and excitement, all the culture that she is building here, totally changing it from staff to everything that they do. You can see that her fingerprint is on every aspect of it.
And I said, is it even slowed down at all? And she said, no, because I'm a mother and a wife. I've got to move my kids from a school. I've got to get a house. I've got to keep coaches and add coaches and keep players and add players.
Yeah.
Clarkson wide open, easy lay it, and now you really see the fatigue.
Great composure by Arkansas. Great composure. They beat the press without dribbling. They passed it up in a wide open layup on the other end.
And a whistle, I think, before the shot. Paris Bradley through the contact. Arkansas's women will be back in action Friday morning for the elementary school game. I think that's a 10:30 a.m. tip for game 2.
Yeah.
That's against UAPB, then Central Arkansas. That's an SEC Network game next Monday. There's a make from Marshall, 21 points.
She's going to have a good year.
Yes, she will. Sophomore from Little Rock.
Oh.
Well, why not another for Bonnie Dees? 25 points for the freshman.
Yeah, she has to be feeling good going off, walking to that bench right there with 24 seconds left, as well as the host staff.
You know, I mentioned it earlier, Blair, as we take a look at some of the highlights from Bonnie Dees. You have to put the ball through the rim. Arkansas didn't do that enough last year.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot the ball well enough. But you add somebody like Bonnie Dees, and she has that scorer's instinct.
She does have the scorer's instinct. She's got a knack for the ball. And she finds that open area. She finds the open gap, whether it's a three-pointer on the weak side or cutting through on the weak side. She's always in position to score, and that comes from playing for all the time she has internationally. And she just has a feel around the basket. She can flat out score, and she does it with a purpose.
Blair, as you look at her first half numbers and second half numbers, correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like in the first half she was going so fast.
Yeah, I agree.
She was out of control. She slowed it down, and look at the production.
Yeah, big time production. She did. She had to gear it down a little bit. She's learning. She can be like that on the defensive end, be all in for it. But when she makes that transition to the other end, she's got to get her feet set. She's got to get settled. She's got to play with composure, and you can tell the difference from first half to second half.
Here's a funny thing. When I talked to her teammates, and I talked to Wybette Mayberry, and I talked to Jenna Lawrence, the first thing they said was, she's a terror, she's a menace defensively, and yet tonight, offensively, 25 points to lead the way.
Well, when you focus on defense, it takes the pressure off on offense. And I really think that's a concept that a lot of players, probably today more so than in the years, that really have missed that correlation. She's really focused on defense. Doesn't mean she doesn't practice offense, but she focuses on defense and lets her defense generate her offense.
Shot clock shut off. Bradley can't add to the lead. See if Arkansas runs out the final few seconds. Arkansas started this game, they were down 17-2. They scored 93, and the 50th season of Arkansas women's